It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, today I have a special guest, Keith McKerley with Clover Imaging's printer division. Keith, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, Keith, I wanted to bring you on the end of the day with Ray because right now, if you look inside, especially the government sector and school districts, and, there's a lot of budgets that are being tightened. There's a lot of, situations where these end users really need to keep printers they have in place. They just need to keep them in place, but there might be a few that need to be replaced. And rather than our dealer friends, reseller friends going to OEMs to get inventory, well, they can call my friends at Clover U and get all they need. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So tell us a little bit about your printer program and your inventory levels and just, what your goals are within that program.
So our program is really designed for dealers that are doing a little bit more of a conservative replacement strategy and not doing a full refresh with new technology. We keep inventory on 3 different types of printers. So OEM, new printers, recertified OEM. Recertified basically means it's a channel return or something that a deal gone bad or something like that. It was sold and it was returned, but it's still going to be an OEM warranty and an OEM starter cartridge. And then there's refurbished printers, which we sell a lot of. So those are 1-year warranty backed by us. The printers have been totally worked over, painted if necessary, and we're always trying to keep more current models, so maybe 1 generation old, 2 generations old max. So dealers that are running 20-year-old printers are still getting a significant upgrade.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you have pretty much every model? We all know that HP probably has the majority of desktop printing in the marketplace. They've had it for a long time. But if I go into an account and let's say it's 90% HP, they might have a few oddball printers in there. But if I have some of those HPs that are 10 or 15 years old, but the customer still wants them and I want to maintain that fleet integrity because they're all the same, could you go back that far? Whereas most of your stuff...
We can go back further if we need to. We focus on a certain number of models, so while we can get just about anything, we try to concentrate our inventory on maybe a dozen models that we know are very reliable. Think about the used car market. A Toyota 4Runner, you can buy one with 100,000 miles and, it's going to go to 300,000 miles. So we're trying to buy the robust, reliable printers, low cost per page. We've got a high yield toner cartridge for it. It'll be an upgrade for the customer, that sort of thing. But if you come in with a one-off quote for a very specific item, we can source it and find it and sell it to you.
What if I was a dealer and I had I don't know a lot about printers. I just know the customer doesn't want to buy anymore. I want to be able to provide them the consumable, and I'm a Clover partner, for instance. So if I go to you and I give you the inventory list of all the printers the customers have, can you kind of go through that and tell me what should go, what should stay, or help me out in that area?
Yeah, absolutely. We do that regularly with our customers. So we offer, monitoring and DCAs that can help pull that data if the end user doesn't have a good handle on what they currently have on their network. And then we can do the fleet analysis to help them pull some high-cost devices out or old devices and refresh with things that make more sense.
Well, let me ask you this. If I go into an account, and I want to go back to the government because I think they're the ones that are going to get squeezed the quickest, especially when they start freezing budgets. And let's say that this entity has, 300 printers. They're all HP. They're using OEM toner, and I convert them to doing business with me and my partner Clover as an example. What could I save that customer realistically? We all hear these crazy numbers, but what is the number?
You can save them 30 to 50%. The savings are significant. So depending on what kind of contract they're coming off of with OEM product, sometimes it could be 20-25% on the low end, but it's usually 30 to 50% savings.
What if I was a reseller? So here you go, Keith. Here's an example. I'm a reseller. I'm selling your toner, and I've always been able to sell my customers your toner, but now they're looking at maybe there's a competitor in there trying to take away all the printers, and the customer really doesn't need to replace all the printers. But how can I come to Clover and say, Clover, can you help me out from a service perspective because this challenger to our toner business, they're going to offer service on all the new stuff. I don't really have a service department. Can you help with that? Do you guys have resources for that?
Yeah, we can help with that. I mean, the first piece of that puzzle is the fleet analysis. So to kind of debunk the argument that that competitor might be replace more printers than are necessary, we can demonstrate that that's not necessarily necessary, and we can help them plug in service solutions through third-party networks and referrals and stuff like that, so they can maintain the service level for the account that they're looking for.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Do you have resellers now that do that with you, so that you have relationships with other service providers? I mean, how does that work really? Because
We do. 9 times out of 10, we are now referring people to other third-party service providers, and
Okay.
we have relationships with just about all of them. So we can do referrals, and they can directly contract with those companies. We do have a service dispatch team, and we have some capacity to run service calls ourselves, but most of that capacity is used for our product warranties. And if it's our printer, we sold it, it's a 1-year warranty, we're going to get a tech out there kind of thing. Or our toner cartridge, we think there might be an issue, we'll get a tech out there, and we have some excess capacity, but typically we like to refer them to one of our partners.
Well, so to get this right, if they reach out to you, you'll help them analyze the entire fleet. You'll tell them what probably doesn't need to replace or what should be replaced. You can sell them new printers, OEM printers as well.
Correct.
Now, are those OEM printers all different brands, or are those mainly HPs, or where do you go with it?
It's all different brands, and so we get opportunities to get good deals on buys occasionally, and we take advantage of those opportunities when we can, and that really dictates our OEM strategy. On the refurb side, we're dialed in on certain printers that we always want to have in stock and keep in stock because they're just good cost per page, reliable printers, and that dictates the strategy on the refurb side. And the channel return / recertified printers is just kind of catch as catch can. Sometimes there's a lot of product out there to look at. Sometimes there's nothing out there to look at. But we want to have options through all 3 of those. And just leverage some flexibility to manage that process.
Are we seeing any challenges in the supply chain right now on pre-owned printers?
Yeah, I mean we're seeing refurbs start to tighten up because there aren't that many printers coming out of environments. There was excess inventory in the depths of COVID back in April and May because nothing was moving anywhere. But coming out of it, July, August, September, our printer sales in August were our best month for the year. So we beat January and February in August. We had a similar month in September. So stuff is starting to move, and there's not a lot coming out of these end users right now. Our expectation, though, is with probably some permanent reductions in office workers, I think people, IT managers, whoever's responsible for it, will start looking at their excess print capacity and start getting rid of some of those devices. And we want to be in line to receive some of that and turn it into a refurbished printer offering.
Well, that's pretty sweet. Well, let me ask you a question. Clover's a global company. You're well known in the world around printers, supplies. If an end user reaches out to you, how does that kind of work? Do you if I'm a city government official and I say, you know what, I saw the end of the day with Ray, I need some printers, I'm going to call Clover. Do you work with partners in certain markets, or how does that work?
Yeah, we look at the market and what they're looking for, and we'll refer it back to one of our dealers or one of our customers. And we're looking for referrals for fleets that are coming out of offices as well. So if dealers have, a 100 printer fleet that they are refreshing, and there is still some of that going on, we want to take a look at it. And we might handle it directly, or we might work through one of our recycling partners. If we only are interested in 20% of the fleet, we can help take care of it all for the dealer.
Sure.
But we would pick the 20% we're looking for.
Well, these are definitely challenging times. Pre-owned printers, especially if they're quality, you're putting the right supplies in it. Your supplies have been proven to be quality. It's a great match, helps customers save a lot of money. So, Keith, is there anything you want to say before we end this?
No, just give us a call if you've got customers that are starting to look at their fleets, whether it's excess capacity and they need to unload some of that, or they're looking for some additional capabilities in their fleet, or need to buy some new devices. Run that scenario by us, and we'll make sure we give you a great deal.
Well, you know, Clover's always done the right thing for the resellers, regardless of what channel they're in. You guys haven't, you wouldn't be able to be a global provider if you didn't. So I appreciate you coming on, and you know what? I look forward to talking to you again. You know, Keith, maybe we could bring one of your customers on that's been real successful with the printer program, and talk through that a little bit on one of the end of the days with Ray. So think about that a little bit.
All right. Sounds great.
All right.
Thanks, Ray.
No problem, because we all know this, my friends. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.